In today's Tales from the Mountain story, we're going to Mercer County, West Virginia, where we're going to talk about this cryptid dubbed the West Virginia Crawler. So sit back and enjoy. These crawlers have been haunting the West Virginia woods for generations. Some say they're a demon, others say a ghost, a twisted spirit, or a humanoid cryptid. They have long limbs that's real skinny, bright white pupilless eyes, and they move through the woods like a spider. With the amount of time that hunters spend in the woods, it's no wonder that sometimes it seems like they see more unexplained things than most other people do. And today's story comes from a deer hunter out of Mercer County, West Virginia, who had his own run-in with a West Virginia crawler. He said that the place he hunted was out in the middle of nowhere. He would camp a couple days or 3 days at a time. And he set up his tent one day, and he said as nightfall began to move in, he heard something with this high-pitched screaming shrill, like a banshee, he said, the way it screamed and hollered. And he said it scared him real bad. And he said as soon as it got done hollering, it was like the whole woods, the forest around him just went quiet. He said you could hear a pin drop. And he said just about 30 seconds after that, it squalled out again. And he said by this time the hair was standing up on his arm and his neck. And he slept with a gun right beside him at night, scared. But he said it was just so quiet after it hollered, nothing making a noise. And he said after about 5 minutes of that eerie silence, the forest came back to life. The next morning, as he was walking to his tree stand, he said he found like a couple rabbits that had been just ripped in half. Pieces of them were eat. The whole things weren't eat, just pieces. And he said he found a half-eaten deer, and he said these weren't like coyotes or bobcats had done this. He said he'd never seen nothing quite like it the way it was done. And he kept walking, got to his tree stand, climbed up in it, was sitting there, and he said he sat there all day and didn't see any deer moving. As it was getting late of the evening, he said he looked out and he saw something out of the corner of his eye dart between two trees. He said he grabbed his binoculars to look, thinking maybe it was another hunter walking through there or something, He said he got to look and he seen it again, but he said this time he could tell it was pale white with real long arms, and it was crawling fast. And he said it had the biggest, brightest, pupilless white eyes he'd ever seen. And he said it just darted around, and once it finally spotted him, he said once it spotted him, it took off getting it. He decided he was going to get down out of that deer stand and go find this thing and try to get a shot at it, because he'd never seen nothing like it. And he said as he eased out through there, he spotted it way off in the distance. And he put his gun up to try to get it in the scope, and he realized it was hovered over a dead deer, eating on it. But before he could get a shot, he said that thing took off. He said you'd be surprised how fast these creatures can move. He never did get a shot at it. He said he went back, tore his tent down, packed it up, and went home. He said he has been back in the area hunting, not camping, but hunting. And he hasn't had another run-in with one of these creatures at all. Have you ever seen one of the West Virginia crawlers? Do you have a story you'd like to tell us about it? If so, leave us a comment. And don't forget to follow me for more Tales from the Mountain.